Thank you. I am a VSO volunteer from Uganda, working with the Girls Education Challenge project in Mozambique. I work with other volunteers to train and build the capacity of girls, teachers, and school council members on gender-responsive ways of achieving better education opportunities for girls. We volunteers work with the local communities on sensitization and advocacy campaigns on the value for girls' education. Having listened to the negotiations this week, if you ask me what are the means of implementation, I might say, well, there are only two, money and technology. But I know from my own experience that these are not the only things needed for this agenda to be implemented successfully. It is important to use these negotiations to focus on more than financial means of implementation, to talk about investment in and support for people-led approaches to development. The zero draft of the outcome document on financing for development refers to unlocking the transformative potential of people. As volunteer groups, we welcome this, but we call on member states to strengthen the section on technology, innovation, and capacity building to reflect this and recognize social innovation and investment in building human resource capacity. In doing this, we should also recognize the complementary role that volunteers can play in supporting more people-centered implementation. The Secretary General's synthesis report recognized volunteerism as a powerful and cross-cutting means of implementation. Volunteers extend the reach and relevance of services to the most marginalized communities beyond the reach of formal systems. Volunteering empowers people to move from being passive beneficiaries to being active participants in their own development. However, volunteers are not a cost-free delivery mechanisms or a cheap form of labor. To be effective and sustainable, volunteering must be supported by investment in capacity building and embedding support structures at national and local level. Volunteers like civil society, people's movements, and citizens themselves should be included in decision-making processes about how development is delivered. I leave you with a final observation from my work on empowering girls through education. Every day, I see that women and girls suffer the most from poverty, marginalization, and exclusion. There will be no hope of achieving any of these goals unless gender empowerment is achieved in a meaningful sense. This week, we want to see agreement on achieving gender equality matched by dedicated resources. Member states should establish robust systems to track allocations for gender equality through disaggregated data and address areas of underfunding in women's rights, gender equality, and women empowerment. I thank you.